online broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans, producing after-shows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, AfterBuzzers. This is Reality Reunion. I am your host, English Cleveland. Make sure you guys follow us on Instagram at AfterBuzz TV, as well as on Twitter and YouTube. Actually, make sure you use the hashtag Reality Reunion. And I am joined today by a lovely, lovely lady, also known as the Black Barbie, and she's very, very popular on Married to Medicine. I am joined by Quad.
Hi,
how are you?
So cute over there.
Thank you. So are you.
Thank you.
Yeah, so we do your after show here, Married to Medicine.
And what do you think about that Married to Medicine? No.
It's very stressful. I'm sure it's so
Are you on the cast?
No, not for. I'm sure it's stressful for you guys, but it's so stressful for us to watch it because we can't wait for the next week. We want to see like the whole season back to back to back.
Yes.
So
I am so glad that you're that much invested in Married to Medicine. That definitely makes me proud. Hello to the Quad Squad.
Yeah, so I'm sure the Quad Squad is definitely watching. We get a lot of the Quad Squad on our Twitter and our YouTube.
What are the people saying?
Oh, Lord Jesus, I can't even repeat it. No, it's a lot. I mean, because
but they love me.
Yeah, no, they love you, but then they go in on us if we don't. Every week, like, oh my gosh, why do you guys talk about Quad? Why do you guys talk about Quad's hair? Why do you guys talk? We're like, we can't say.
Did you guys shade me?
No, we don't shade you at all. I'm just saying they want us to talk all about you and shade everyone else.
Well, they are the Quad Squad. Yeah. So thanks for the faithful ones.
Right.
I appreciate that.
Right.
But no, you guys have a right to watch the show and review the show. We actually love the feedback. Mm-hmm. So proud that you're watching the show and you're keeping us, on the radar. We're very happy that we're going into the third season of Married to Medicine.
Yes.
It starts June 7th.
At what time?
You ready?
What time? I'm ready. 9
o'clock. It's going to premiere 9 o'clock.
Okay.
On the first Sunday, and then 8 o'clock every Sunday afterwards.
Okay, cool. Mm-hmm. Exciting. So what? Well, I'll ask you that later because I really want to know what is. Let's get into the season.
She wants to know the tea.
I want to know all the tea, which we don't have here today. But I want to also talk about just a little bit of background about you because we don't get a chance to know reality stars except for an hour once a week for a few months.
That's correct.
And so there's much more to you, of course, than that. And so
absolutely.
I definitely want to get to know Quad, the younger years, where you're from, your roots, who's inspired you, all of that. So
well, okay, that's a lot. But you guys actually got an opportunity to see a little bit of my background prior to really going full throttle into television or the reality piece. I was actually in medical sales prior to just saying, okay, I'm going to let it go and I'm going to go ahead and convert completely to reality TV. I'm from Memphis, Tennessee, and went to school in Nashville, got my degree in biology with a minor in chemistry, did an HCOP pre-bac program at Mariah, and then went on to do a pilot program that Johnson & Johnson and McNeil had in conjunction with the school that I attended, and really, really loved being able to go out and to meet new people. I mean, I thrive off meeting new people, and personally partnering what I knew in my biology history or my history and science to partner that with my love for people. It was just a given that I was supposed to be in sales,
right?
And then it doesn't hurt that the money's good too.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. So what made you get out of sales and say, you know what, this is not what I want to do anymore?
Well, it wasn't a situation where it was not like what I wanted to do anymore. I was very successful. I was in the top 10% in the company and definitely in the region. So I didn't have an issue with being a medical sales rep. I actually enjoyed it, talking to doctors, kind of schooling them, so to speak, on, my equipment and, the device that I was selling. So it wasn't that I was wanting to get out of it or I was just so fed up with it. It wasn't a cubicle job. So I was able to be as free as I wanted. And it was, lots of autonomy, and so I like that. But when I stopped to look at, medical sales versus where I could possibly go in the arena of entertainment, not just reality TV,
right,
but in the arena of entertainment, I'm like, listen, I might need to kind of just really focus on, where this can go in television and entertainment. And at that point, I had to say goodbye to some very good people that I worked with. So. And it hasn't been, I can't say that it's been, a bad choice. It is some challenges with being in a part of reality TV, but it hasn't been a bad choice. I have now completed my first movie, which aired on BET. I had a very small role, guys.
What movie?
It was called My First Love.
Okay.
And it was about this couple who kind of had some marital woes for a minute, but then they got back on track. It's very interesting. Got a chance to meet some awesome people. That movie was with Carl Payne. We know Carl. Also Brayley Evans, Pooch Hall, Gabrielle Dennis. So it was some very amazing talents, and just for me to be amongst them, and they just welcomed me with open arms, and I was very grateful for that opportunity. So we have some more things that we're working on. I since then, prior to actually that, I've been signed with CAA, and so that's huge. They don't represent very many reality stars,
right?
And I think it's probably maybe two of us, and that would be myself and Lisa Vanderpump.
Okay,
so
nice.
It's just a blessing to for people to see you from afar and see so much in you that they believe in you, they want to work with you.
Right.
Not only that, now I am also the brand contributor for BCBG. And that's just like a dream come true for me. Here I am, this girl from Memphis. I've always been fly, may I add.
Right.
But
okay, that's what I wanted to ask, because I wanted to get a little bit back to the older years Quad, like the original, not say original, but let me say like the
prior to, we'll just say pre-television. How about that?
Pre-television Quad. What was your style inspiration? Where did you transition into? Because, before when you were younger, were you making your own clothes or what were you doing?
No, I just was telling my daddy what I wanted him to buy me.
Oh, nice. That's perfect. I do the same thing. Hi, Dad.
Hi. Well, so I was just... I would just tell my dad, these are the things I want. And my dad, he would completely oblige as long as I made good grades. And I graduated number 3 in my class. It was just this one little guy.
What?
He just... Anyway, he was number 2 in the class, but I was okay.
Competition,
of course. Why not? It's nothing wrong with a little healthy competition. But I had always been a very popular person. I've always had a very magnetic personality. It's amazing. I can build a rapport instantaneously,
right? And
a lot of times they turn into some very long-lasting relationships. I still have friendships from when I was in grade school,
right? Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. It's actually a great characteristic to have. Because we know that loyalty is just completely out of the vocabulary for a lot of people. But I've always been into fashion and into beauty and wanting to express myself and wanted to look my absolute best. I've always been very girly,
right?
And so it just was a natural progression for me. I will say earlier on, I had this phase, and I don't know what this was about, but I was wearing polo shirts, and I asked my father for one pair of Jordans.
Okay.
And he was like, okay, and tell me, why do you want this? I'm like, it's the hottest tennis shoe.
Yeah.
And I was very young then. But, he did it.
So you were in a polo phase, which is very Southern. A lot of people in the South love polo. It's
God, yes.
upscale.
That's like everything in Mississippi.
Yeah, of course. So what is your inspiration now? Like, what designers do you follow? And then how did you get into BCBG?
Okay, so now, I love how Victoria Beckham, I love how she dressed. Like, she's fierce every time she comes out.
Classy and smart.
Oh, God, I love it. I love how she dressed. Now, her line, on the other hand, it's kind of missing for me. It doesn't really, to me, represent her. Like, she's always very strong and very bold, and, she wears things that complements her physique, and it's just very nice on her. She changes her hairstyles, and I love that. But when I logged onto her website, because I was like, I'm about to get my shop on, and I didn't buy anything.
No.
I didn't. I really didn't, because I just thought, I didn't think that it was a true representation of her, so I'm interested in what's going to come out next for her. But she's definitely a fashionista to me. Luba Azria is just one woman who is after my own heart. I mean, I've never seen a woman who works so hard but still is so loving and very accessible. For me, I have been shopping at BCBG for over 10 years now, and you become an elite client when you spend the type of money that I spend, so to speak. And with that, you actually get invited to New York Fashion Week. And I had been invited for over the last few years, and was able to go behind stage and actually meet Luba and also Max and just do some great things with them. And it just continued to, the relationship just continued to grow. And I just feel very honored to be a part of that family,
Cool. So expand on what your position is in your partnership with them.
So the partnership is basically, they have a program, and this was the New Guard campaign, where they pick a lot of women who are at the top of their industry, whether if it's being an author or an actress or a ballerina or a person who is an entrepreneur. And they utilize our stories to inspire others. And that, to me, I was just like, yes, this is completely me, and I can look good while doing it. And that was a big deal for me, to be able to take my story and to inspire others with it. Again, I'm from Memphis, Tennessee, so when we think of America, we probably won't just automatically think of Memphis.
Of course.
We don't. Well, we might think of Memphis when we think about like rhythm and blues.
Or barbecue.
Of course. But, you normally think of, L.A. or New York. And here I am, right here from Memphis, Tennessee. And I just wanted everyone to hear my story, to know it doesn't matter where you're from. All you have to do is have a vision. And you have to be serious and resilient when it comes down to that. It's not always going to be easy. It is quite a challenge. Some people will not believe in you. In fact, people will taunt you. We actually saw that last season with me, where people were just like, well, what the hell is she thinking? What is she talking about? She's going to do a puppy couture clothing line. Well, I did that, and she's doing very well.
Well, can she please let us know all about it? Because that was my next question. We talked a lot about it on our after show, and I have a dog, but she's not tiny though.
What's her name?
Her name is Coco.
Okay, and what type of baby is she?
She is a Chow Husky mix.
Okay, so how many pounds is she?
She's about 40 pounds.
Oh, she's a big one.
Yeah, she's not a baby.
Lord, put her on a diet, honey. She's eating too many kibbles and bits.
Yeah, she eats a lot of food. But tell us about your beloved children.
I love my girls.
They're the inspiration behind your line.
Really, yes. So, I'm always this person that everything that I'm affiliated with must be the absolute best. And so, my girls included, we would go out, and they are with me a lot. Almost everywhere. And I would buy them things and little T-shirts and little cute little things, little socks and stuff like that. But I was just like, every time I would wash it, it's just like it shrinks, it's cheap, it unravels, it fades, and I'm like, wait a minute now, I'm not spending my money for this. And then it's not like all of that. It's kind of like PetSmart.
Yeah, of course.
No shade to PetSmart.
No shade, but then you also want something that's different that you can't see another dog wearing. Like,
exactly.
Just like you wouldn't want to see someone else wearing the same dress that you're wearing. Right.
Never.
Of course.
So when I got married about 3 years ago, I was looking for a wedding gown for the girls, because I was not going to get married and not have my babies to go down that aisle with me. It's just not going to happen. We're family. So
of course.
I started shopping, and I bought 2 dresses. I think I came across a dress that was probably like $80. 2 dresses they were $80 a piece, but they were like the cheapest thing ever, and it was probably flammable. I don't know. It was so cheap, but that's what was on the market at the time, and so I had to pick the best out of the worst. And I said, well, listen, if whoever designed this, I can definitely do this. I have a vision. I know what I like. How can I make this happen? And so, of course, I have a good friend, Rico Chappelle, and I sat down with him. He and I actually went to college together.
That's what I was going to say. So you guys go way back.
Yes. We actually went to college together, and so I actually started doing some of his first fashion shows when he initially got out, got started. And
which was drama last season, might I add. Yeah. Continue, though.
Yeah, look at you. So anyway, I said, hey, this is what I want to do. You know how to draw. You know how to sketch. I can tell you what I'm looking for. I know the type of fabrics that I want. Let's work together on this. And he was like, listen, you've always been there for me, without a doubt. Let's do it. And so here I am at that point, running from LA to New York in the fashion district and literally pulling fabric myself.
Wow.
And guys, I'm probably like 118 pounds, to be honest with you. And imagine a bolt of fabric is huge. It's really heavy. Yeah. But I had to do what I had to do. And I really like that I was so hands-on with it, because it builds up a sense of camaraderie and the passion that I have for it.
Right.
Like, I picked out every button, every trim, every stitch of lace, the thread, everything. It's all me written on that clothing line. And so it's of high quality.
Okay.
Actually, to be honest with you, some of those pieces, if I made them in adult sizes, I would definitely wear them and probably sell out.
Wow.
It's very nice. I have one piece that I really love, and it's called the Bella of the Ball. And I named it the Bella of the Ball because that was my wedding piece. Because, again, that's how this whole idea came about.
Right.
So it's beautiful. It's made of satin, ivory satin, and it has crystals, and it has pearls, and these are real crystals and pearls.
Wow.
It does retail for about $150, but it is well designed, and that is it's from my signature collection.
Oh,
so
awesome.
But if I paid $80 for some cheap crap like $100, so I thought I was definitely in the market with my competition.
Right.
It's just really funny, because when I drive up and down Rodeo Drive or right in Beverly Hills, that's all you see are little doggy boutiques.
Yeah,
so
everywhere.
There is a market for it, and I think you have to sometimes think outside of the box. You can't do what everyone else is doing. No shade to anyone else, but it's tons of lip glosses out there. It's tons of hair weaves, honey. You weave, girl. It's tons of people who are selling weave. It's tons of people who are selling nail polish, and all of those things are great, and it's what you make of it.
Right.
But I just wanted to do something different and something that was near and dear to my heart.
Right, yeah, and it's totally, we get a chance to see on the show that your dogs are everything. We also got a chance to see the dynamic of kids and then your dog, which are your kids.
Well, they're my babies in practice.
Right.
That's what I say. I'm practicing.
So are you still practicing?
I'm practicing both ways.
Okay, good. So should we see maybe this season some news or anything?
We have high hopes.
Yeah, totally. I mean, everyone wants to see. I know.
Why is it that you guys want to see me with the baby so bad? Please tell me.
Because you are very nurturing and caring for your children, your dog children.
My little babies.
Yeah, and so it definitely seems like you would be a perfect mother.
And I am.
And you would dress them very cute all the time, and they would say the funniest things all the time. Yeah, they would have the perfect one-liners.
Well, I tell my husband all the time, I'm like, you're going to be messed up, right? When this little girl gets here, you're going to be like a mess. I'm already saying a little girl because, of course, that's what I want to have. I want to have a daughter. But,
awesome.
But I'm not pregnant right now, so we're just working on it.
Well, good.
Yeah.
Okay, so I saw online also that you are into advice about love and spiritual advice and just a lot of advice people lean on you for.
Yes,
So
and I'm so grateful. You know, that warms my heart more than anything. It's not the money that I make from the show. It's just the people that I'm able to touch and inspire. I wish I could just roll out like my DMs for you, or, you know, the emails that I get on, you know, quadisverybusy.com. You know, I'm just so grateful, honestly, that I can really inspire and motivate people. It's the best for me. It really, I almost get a bit emotional when I think about that's a blessing that I have on my life, and I'm grateful.
Right. What is the most, I would say, popular advice that people ask for?
Oh, they ask a lot about, you know, starting their own business. They ask a lot about, you know, being maybe the odd person out, and how do they kind of gather and gain their confidence. They ask a lot about that. They ask a lot about relationships as well. You know, how do you know, work and then have a balance with your husband but still being a good housewife. You know, they ask all about that. I can remember that I had a person to email me, and they were just going through like a challenging time. You know, they were going through a challenging time. I think they were kind of dealing with some things with their parents, and they were struggling a little bit. And, you know, he didn't know if he needed to drop out of school or and get a job. And you know, he was like, I'm torn because my family right now is struggling. And for me, I understand, you know, going through a hardship. I do. But I would never tell a person to abort school. I would never do that, because I feel that a lot of times when people say, oh, you know, I'm just going to sit out this semester, they never go back. You know, life happens. It just does. You know, different issues come about, you know, family happens, and then before you know it, it's 3 years later and you've not gotten your degree yet. And so I encouraged him to stay in school, and, you know, he can work a part-time job, but school was his primary responsibility. And, you know, things will come. And I told him that he needs to stay deep in prayer about that, and things will happen. It will change. It really would.
Yeah. So that's more, would you say you give a lot of more spiritual advice to people? Do you always lean on saying prayer or God, or always circle it back around to that?
You know, I'm definitely a faithful person. I'm definitely a spiritual person. So I do a lot of, you know, what will Jesus do, so to speak? You know, I kind of think about those things, especially when dealing and addressing other people. I don't feel that it's good to just completely like find something wrong with a person just because. I'm always looking for the good in someone. It doesn't matter who they are. I don't feel that I'm better than anyone. I just feel like I do have favor, and I have a vision, and I'm going to do my part. Do you understand what I'm saying? I'm not just going to sit back and wait for it to happen. I'm going to make it happen. And it is a sense of spirituality with that. I do get a lot of questions about being independent. You know, how do you be an independent woman but in a relationship? You know, and it's odd because I think people think that you're supposed to change once you're in a relationship as a woman. Like you're supposed to change. You're supposed to kind of conform to the relationship. But is that happiness? I don't think that is. And that's not fair. I think a person, when two people get together, I always say, you personally are responsible for your own happiness. Now, when you get with that other person, they can enhance your happiness, but they are never to make you happy and be their sole reason why you are happy. So it's something deeper within that. You must be confident and sure of who you are, you know? I think when you find yourself and find that peace with yourself, happiness is just overwhelming. So with you and your husband, you said you guys have been together for 3 years. We're approaching 3 years. Okay. And did you see what my husband bought me for my birthday?
Let me see. The ring or the watch?
No, the ring. That's my wedding ring. But the watch.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful.
Nice
when was your birthday?
Nice little Hublot. It was in May. Actually, I'm a Taurus.
Happy birthday.
Thank you, dear. Thank you.
So what made you decide on him, like, this is the one? And then also, my minor is psychology, so I know a lot. A lot of people are always like, oh, psychology, are you always like
analyzing?
Would you say your husband is always analyzing you?
Well, we're both Tauruses, and by nature, Tauruses are very analytical. But he will analyze a situation.
Right.
I don't allow him to analyze me.
Okay.
Fall back, fall back, Jack, is what I say.
Yeah.
But, he... I think when we met, I wanted to, I was ready for a relationship. I wanted to date someone. I have to have someone who's going to stimulate me. I cannot just date a person because they're the hot thing that's out there or what they have. What they have makes me nothing.
Right.
You're going to have to be able to stimulate me emotionally and also mentally. And the conversations were good between the two of us.
Where'd you guys meet?
Oh, this is so funny. This is such a funny story. So we met at Kroger's.
Oh, okay.
I always say we went Krogering.
Okay.
It's hilarious. I went Krogering, so to speak. But it was the weirdest thing because I was in Kroger's and it was this one guy. So he was following me from aisle to aisle to aisle to. He got on my everlasting nerve. Like my itty bitty nerve. Yeah, he was on that one.
Okay.
And I just said, I have to shake this guy. So there was this older gentleman who was in a wheelchair. I just leaned down and I said, can you pretend that you're my dad? I have this guy who will not stop following me. And so he's like, oh yeah. So I'm talking to him. We're looking at like birthday cards because I actually was in the store buying a birthday card for my father. And he's like, yeah, baby, that's a good one. That's a good one. Why are you still here, son? I'm with my daughter,
Yeah.
So I was like, thank you so much. And the guy ran off or whatever. So I leave out of the store and all of a sudden I'm packing my car, putting things in the trunk. And I hear this little voice, pull up beside me. Excuse me, are you married? That's my boy. That's my husband's voice, guys.
Right.
And I'm like, okay. So 3 things that came in mind.
So that was his first question. Excuse me, are you married?
Exactly.
Okay.
So what came to my mind is like, okay, this man is clearly ready for a relationship and marriage. He respects marriage, right? Because he definitely asked me, was I? And I said, he might just be a good choice. Because, normally guys come up and they say, oh, you're so beautiful, or your smile, and oh, you look nice, and all of the
don't even ask your name. Exactly.
And doing the once over. I'm here.
Yeah.
Why are you once overing me?
Of course.
You know the once over.
It's nasty.
Yeah, like a piece of meat, right? So I then was like, okay, he looks like he wants more conversation. I told him, I'm going to put this buggy up. I walked the buggy to the buggy holder. Now, let my husband tell this story. He will tell you that I ran. I broke all types of ankles and toes. The doll did not. But he will tell you that.
That doesn't even sound like you.
No, because it's not.
Right.
Okay? He was stroking his own ego at that point.
Right.
So I was just saying in my head, Lord, please let this man have his car parked and at my car by the time I get out of this store, because I know he doesn't think that I'm going to lean over on a car and put my head in the window. My father told me prostitutes do that.
Right.
He did, the women of the night.
Of course.
And I said, no, that couldn't be me. So he was parked and he was there, and he and I began to talk, and initially, I'm just like, okay, he's a nice guy. And then he pulled out this card, and I saw he worked for, at a hospital. And all I could think was referrals. Because again, I was in the business at that time, medical sales. So I was just thinking of referrals. I wasn't looking at him like to be my man. But the very next day, we ended up going out. We went for like pizza or something, like very simple. And then we went to downtown Atlanta and kind of looked into a couple of stores. Well, I began to like give him like clothing, like, here, take that sweater, take that. That shirt might look good, try that on. And so people were already thinking that we were married, but I had just clearly met this man. And some of the things I did like on him, so I just bought it. I bought it for him.
And that is very independent.
Very independent, very self-sufficient, and the best investment I've ever made.
Well, that is so cute. That's so perfect.
Yeah.
That's good. And so from there, it's been...
He's funny because he'll tell you, like, I don't know what the hell she sees in me. He's hilarious. Like, my husband's really funny, and then just us together, it's just, you're in stitches,
and you still style him and everything. I know he loves bow ties.
Oh, Lord, honey. This man is a true... I have to ask him, are you Muslim?
Right.
Because all you do...
Are you selling bean pies?
Are you slinging bean pies?
Right.
Honey? But he looks nice in his suits, and he's like, he has his favorite store. It's in Atlanta, and when I tell you we live in that store... Literally, he's probably purchased everything out of that store, but he looks so good when he puts his suits on, and he dresses very nice. He can wear a suit well, and it's nothing like a man that can wear a suit well.
Amen. I was just about to say that. So what is the best advice that you can give for women or to women that are dating and that are in a new relationship, like how you guys were.
I'm so glad you asked me.
Yes,
English,
yeah.
work.
Okay.
Guys, listen to me. Never be anxious for anything. When you're anxious, you make a lot of mistakes, you know? And I think with women, we've been kind of raised up, and our culture says, you know, we're to get a man and get married and have his kids. But honestly, guys, it's okay to sustain yourself first. It's okay to have something to bring to the table. I think men look at you completely different when they know she can sustain herself. She doesn't need me. We want to make sure that we're not being a liability, right? But we're being a benefactor, right? And you do that when you have everything lined up. Get your education. If not, get a trade. I'm not saying that everyone should go to college, not by any stretch of the imagination, but get out there and work hard for what you want. If you have the entrepreneur mindset, create your business plan and stop at nothing until you build that business.
Right.
You know, just always have something to bring to the table. No one wants a person who's leaning on them. You know, oh, she can't get her hair done. She needs me to get her hair done. Oh, she needs me to get her nails done. Oh, she needs me to buy her shoes. Oh, she needs me. Like, we cannot do that. We can't, you know. And a lot of times when we make those type of mistakes, we see a lot of women jumping from this person to that person to that person. So we want to be very careful that when we come to the table, we're coming with good credit, right?
Amen.
Right? We're coming with good credit. We're coming, you know, educated. We're coming, and the education could not only just be in terms of college, but educated within the business that you do, you know, and being the best at it. If you're a beautician, then be the best beautician that we've ever seen. You know, if you're a nail tech, then be the nail tech extraordinaire. You know, just be the best you that you can be. And I think you set the tone immediately when you go into a relationship like that.
Yeah, that's awesome advice. Priceless advice, I should say. So I did also see that you do some community outreach.
Yes, for sure.
What is it that you do in Atlanta?
Well, tons in Atlanta. Of course, my number one passion is Canine Companions for Independence, and that is a national organization that basically raises money to train the dogs to help disable senior citizen children and adults.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah. So it's funny because when I say that to some people, it's like, you raising money for a dog? No, baby. I'm raising money for the disabled.
Right.
Because we know, you know, sometimes people can't walk, and, you know, they need, you know, the dog to turn the lights on for them. Dogs are so intelligent. We just don't give them the credit. Just because they can't speak, but they do understand
a lot.
I've seen, you know, dogs that have with this organization that have literally helped a person like from going into a diabetic coma, like by just going to kind of you know, warn the next person who's in the other room, like, hey, something's going on here. Like, they're literally trained to do this. And just companions. A lot of times with our senior citizen population, you know, the children sometimes get busy. You know, life is still going on. You know, they have their own kids. And so the senior citizens definitely need that companion. So that's one organization that I am head over heels for. I do work with Hands On Atlanta. And in that organization, I've done some work for Books for Africa. Basically, we box up, and I actually myself have been in a warehouse. Hot boots, but that's okay. And I'm talking about sorting and sourcing books and actually packing them up. And we send them over in cartons over to Africa to fight illiteracy.
So it's way more beyond the cameras and the TV and all of that.
Absolutely.
And I'm so glad we get a chance to finally see you past the hour. But we do want to get a little bit into the show.
Now, that was the sophisticated Quad.
Right, that was the now put your hair back. Let them know. Okay, so
time for the dog to read.
Yes. So let us know what you can tell us about this season.
I mean, it's treacherous.
We saw the preview.
Oh. What did you think about that preview?
It was so, I was like, I had to watch it a few times because I loved how they put it together. Like, it was so much drama filled.
In the messiest way, right?
Yeah. Did you guys not know that it was going to come out that way?
Well, we're dealing with Bravo, so it's kind of going to always be. It's going to be fabulously messy, right? It's going to be messy, but it'll be fabulous in the meantime. So,
Tell us about this season. What you can say. What can we expect? Are there any friendships that are going to be mended or more lost friendships?
I think you'll see a little bit of both this season with Married to Medicine season 3. There are some relationships that have completely went down the toilet.
Okay.
And there's some who, people are working on, trying to see where they can meet at a midpoint. They may not always agree. That you might not be my favorite, but I want to try with you.
Right.
And I think we see a lot of that. Of course, we have the work-life balance. How do you continue to be an entrepreneur or a career woman and still have an opportunity to balance your family? So we do see a lot of that. There is a lot of scandal involved in this season of Married to Medicine. It's going to be a firecracker of a season, I can tell you that.
Okay.
Riveting.
So who is Quad this season?
Quad is Miss Quad every season, honey.
Okay, so what can we expect? Can I say that Mariah
What are you going to say about Mariah?
and Quad are friends or foes, or should we just wait and see?
You're very optimistic, and I like that. I like that.
Okay.
You should just wait and see.
Okay.
You really should wait and see. But she is definitely a part of the show in some capacity. So you should just wait and see. For me, just wait and see.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And to get a little bit more in depth with reality TV,
Let's do it.
What have you learned from seeing yourself on television, and what is the best, greatest accomplishment on being on reality TV?
My greatest accomplishment. I'm telling you, I'm blessed, and coupled with my work ethic, I'm on the move, and that within itself is just a blessing. I talked to you about the movie, and then BCBG, and then Picture Perfect Pup is doing amazing. It's just been awesome. You know, that has been really good. And
would you say maybe inspiring your fans or gaining all of these fans and being able to doing outreach?
I love. I'm telling you guys, there's nothing so special to me than a human life. It's so precious to me. And so I love the fact that I'm able to inspire people. I'm very sentimental when it comes down to that.
Right.
I really love my fans. And I don't even want to call them fans. I call them my supporters.
Yeah.
Because they're real people.
Yeah.
And I'm just happy that they look to me for inspiration. What was your next question? You had said something before that.
About reality TV, what have you learned from watching yourself on television?
Well, I've always known this about myself. I'm loyal to a fault. I've always I care about people. So a lot of times, again, I'm always looking for the good in people, and that can kind of get me in a little trouble sometimes with the wrong people, because wolves do come in sheep clothing. And you'll see a little bit of that this season. Right. You really would. But I would just say it's so interesting to me, how people interact when the cameras are not on, and then for it to be completely different when the cameras come on. I'm like, who the hell are you? What the hell happened? Where's the person that I was just hanging out with yesterday?
Okay.
And it's just amazing how people would do and say whatever just to get a little bit more attention. They will. They will come up with these preposterous lies. And I mean, they believe the lies that they're telling. They sell the lies. And it's just give me a break. That is pathetic. You have nothing else to offer, so you just resort to drama. I pity you.
So what has changed now? I'm sure you can't go into Kroger and without people in Atlanta recognizing you and people wanting to take pictures. I can't go into WeHo. I cannot hang out in WeHo without everyone's like, oh my God, that's Quad. Let's go over. Hey girl. Miss Quad. They sing that jingle all the time, and I just get in there with them, and we dance and we sing and we have a good time. I never turn anyone down for a picture because I understand that could change someone's life. And if you care enough about me to even ask that, if I'm that important to you, then of course I'm going to oblige. Absolutely. Okay, awesome. So since I will be here on Sunday doing the show,
what's tea, honey? Quad Squad, listening in English. What you gonna do, girl?
I want you to give me some very important information to give to the Quad Squad on Sunday that I can say, hey, Quad specifically told me to tell you guys this. What do you want to tell them?
I want you to tell them to get ready.
Okay.
Gear up.
Lace up their boots.
Because we're going to light it up, baby.
Okay.
We're going to light it up. It's going to be something.
What song should I open to then? Because we always open to a song every single week. What song
did you open to me last year?
We opened every week. We changed our song. So, and it was on Sunday. Every Sunday we did it like we would go to brunch and then come do our show. So we would all like be a little bit turned up.
Okay,
but I don't know. It was such a long season, but we had so many different songs. But what's your song right now? We should probably put on for our first episode.
I love right now. I was just thinking of Rihanna. I don't know why.
Okay, that's my song too.
I don't know why I was thinking of that, but I was just actually thinking of Rihanna. But what song right now would I say that you should open up?
What?
Beyonce, I'm a grown woman.
I've done that song too. I will do that song. I had to host a show by myself one time, and I was like, I'm going to put on Beyonce, Grown Woman. I love that song.
Yes,
so I will put that on for you this Sunday.
You must.
Okay,
you must.
So let us all know where we can find you.
Please,
all of your websites, Twitter, Instagram, everything.
Listen, guys, if you want to continue to be in my business, even when the season is off, you should definitely log on to www.quadisverybusy.com. You should shop pet parents. You should definitely shop for your little babies at pictureperfectpup.com. We ship them out like hotcakes, honey. We're not trying to hold on to inventory. So we got you, but when you order, the shipment's going out, trust. You can definitely follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Absolutely Quad, and at Facebook at Quad Webb-Lunceford.
Cool. Well, it's definitely a pleasure to have you here today.
Thank you so much, my dear.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in. You guys can always find me on Instagram at Pink English, as well as on Twitter, English Speaks. If you guys have any questions about Quad or about the show or want to talk,
tweet us.
Yeah.
We should do a live. How about we do a live tweet?
Yeah, we're using the hashtag Reality Reunion.
Reality Reunion.
Yeah.
What about that reunion last year?
Ooh,
deep and dangerous.
Very deep and dangerous. I'm excited for this reunion.
Yeah, you should be.
Yeah. So make sure you guys tune in to our after show on Sunday, and before that, make sure you guys tune in to Married to Medicine on Bravo TV this Sunday, June 7th at 9 p.m. Central Time or Eastern Time.
And then 8 o'clock every Sunday following.
Okay, cool. So
I will see you guys there. Okay. Actually, you guys should beat me there.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Watch me.
And what hashtag should they use to like get in touch with you while watching it with you?
You know what? We're going to go ahead and say Quad is very busy. Hashtag very busy, honey.
Okay, so that's what we're going to go with. Quad is very busy. So we'll see you guys Sunday. We love you. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you next time.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.